أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد صلى على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الأطيبين الأنجبين، بهم نتولى ومن أعدائهم نتبرأ إلى الله. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Dua for today: Allahumma zayyinni fihi bis-sitr wal-'ifaf. Allah, adorn me with the covering from sins and chastity. Wastur fihi bi-libas al-qunu'i wal-kafaf, and cover me with the clothes of contentment. Wahmilni fihi ala al-'adli wal-insaf, and adhere me to justice and fairness. وَآمِنِّي فِيهِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَا أَخَافُ, and protect me from everything I fear. بِعِصْمَتِكَ يَا عِصْمَةَ الْخَائِفِينَ, by your protection, O the protector of every frightened. Again, another beautiful dua. Tonight, the talk we have, it's going to be preparation to the final abode. How do we prepare for the next life? Death, it is haqq. Everyone has to taste it. Sooner or later, we will all be leaving from here and embarking on the final abode. Du'as that we have throughout the month and otherwise, we say, Allahumma ja'al awaqiba umurina khayra. Allah, make the end of mine khair, good. Or elsewhere says that the sweetest moment that Allah, make it the meeting of me meeting you. یعنی اون لقائی که ما داریم با خدای متعال، اون سویت و شیرین ترین لحظه حیات ما را قرار دهد انشاءالله. و امشب یه مقداری درباره همین عقاید خودمون هم صحبت میکنم، هم انگلیسی هم فارسی، که هر دو هم بتونیم متوجه بشیم. Now, departing from this dunya and arriving at barzakh, in our graves. In the grave, we will be greeted by an angel. His name is Roman. There is a dua of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam in Sahifa Sajjadiyya, and it is called Dua of the bearers of the throne and the Hamalat al-Arsh. Allah has numerous angels carrying out His task, and throughout that dua, Imam sends salawat and salams to all different angels of the Almighty Allah. These angels have been created to carry out tasks. 2 angels are with me, with you. These angels, they are recording the good and the bad that I do. A'mal neek man wa a'mal bad man, har do ra inha ra minavisan. و یکی از چیزهایی که ما باید یاد بگیریم اینه که at least once in a day we say salamun alaykum to these angels who are with us all the time. یه سلامی به اینام بفرستیم. تا حالا اگر نفرستادیم تا تمام عمرمون الان بفرستیم که آشتی کنیم با اینا، که اینام کسانی هستن که با ما هستن، همیشه هم هستن. And hadith says the day we die, these angels, they go and say to Allah, this person, he has passed away. What do we do? Allah says, this creation of mine is filled with angels, so there is no vacancy for you. So they say, what do we do? Allah says, go by the grave of that marhum who you were with throughout his life and seek forgiveness for him until the day of judgment. تا روز قیامت سر قبرش باشید و برای اون طلب مغفرت کنید. اینم دیگه رحمتی است که خدای متعال داره نسبت به بندگانش. Now, when we die and we are laid in our graves, the first angel to come in, his name is Roman Fattan al-Qubur. So he comes just to check, the initial check-in. When you check into the hotel, you go to the reception and they see if you have a booking here or not. Now this angel also just sees my initial checks, that if I'm a Muslim, I have been doing my prayers, my fast, all those basic things. If that was cleared, then the angel who will come to greet me in the grave, it's going to be Bashir or Mubashir or Nakir and Munkar. Nakir and Munkar are the two angels who will come for general public, for everyone. For Mu'mineen, it's not Nakir and Munkar, it's Bashir and Mubashir. So they come in a beautiful form. So when the check-in clearance is given by Roman, then based upon that, Bashir and Mubashir will come, or Nakir and Munkar will come. So if the clearance was good, Bashir will come with Mubashir. If it was just okay, then Munkar and Nakir will come. So that is what we see. Now even in the du'as that we have, we recited in the month of Rajab, there we ask the Almighty Allah that send Bashir and Mubashir for me in my grave, not Nakir and Munkar. So Bashir and Mubashir, they come with good news. Bashir means someone who gives the glad tiding, khabar khub miyare. Mubashir, I'm someone who enlightens and gives you good joy and joyful news, same thing. So in that dua also we said the same thing. Allah send Bashir and Mubashir to me in my graves, not Nakir and Munkar. Now, when we check in, there the angel comes, and based upon the performance we had, we will be checked in into the barzakh until the day of judgment. One of the mustahabbat that we have when we are laid in our graves is talqeen. Talqeen means to remind the marhum of his faith, of his aqaid. So we read the talqeen in Arabic. I'll go through it quickly so we know what exactly it is. So it's going to be easier. Someone on whom this talqeen is recited, if you could change the page please. Someone on whom this talqeen is recited, there Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, he quotes a hadith. He says that Munkir and Nakir, when they come and they want to question you in the grave, they say, let's go. Why? فَقَدْ لُقِّنَ حُجَّتُهُ. Because his hujjat, his talqeen, his aqidah has already been reminded to him. So no matter what you ask him, he's going to give you a pass answer and he's going to be passed. So we don't need to inquire, ask as well. So that is another benefit of talqeen. So it's two talqeen. One in the grave. The second talqeen also when the grave is buried, when the grave is closed. Just in brackets, we've got wajib, wajib kifai, wajib aini. Wajib aini means that what is wajib on me, like the prayers I offer, it is for me, myself. I have to do it. Wajib kifai means a wajib, if one member of the community does it, then everyone else is okay. Like for example, a Muslim passes away here in Brisbane. If a few people, mu'mineen, they come and take the funeral charges of that person themselves on them and they bury him, they wash him, they shroud him, they offer prayers on him, then everyone else here, they are safe. If they don't do it, then everyone will be punished and questioned on the day of judgment. So that is wajib kifai. So if you, now, as a reminder, if you've got a group of volunteers here who take the funerals of an individual on board, then it becomes wajib on that group, all of them. So when it comes wajib on the group, they have to do it. So over here also, we can't pick and choose and say that me no, he yes. No, if there is a group of mu'mineen, they have to take it on board and it is wajib on them. Now, this talqeen, it starts with Isma ifham. That is, we are talking to that marhum in the grave. We say, tell him, listen and understand. هل أنت على العهد الذي فارقتنا عليه? Are you on that covenant that you had whilst you were alive? What is that? من شهادتي أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. That is the shahadat I had in the oneness of the Almighty Allah. Are you still on it? وَأَنَّ مُحَمَّدًا صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ عَبْدُهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Salawat. And that Rasulullah, he is his servant and his messenger. Who is he? Sayyidun Nabiyyin, the chief of all the prophets. Khatamul Mursaleen, the seal and the last of all the prophets. وَأَنَّ عَلِيًّا أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَسَيِّدُ الْوَسِيِّينَ. And that Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali alayhi salatu wassalam, who is the chief of all the successors, وَإِمَامٌ افترض اللَّهُ طَاعَتَهُ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He is the Imam whose obedience Allah has made it mandatory on all the dwellers of the world. Not world, worlds. So there are awalim, alal alameen. Not only in this dunya, so all the dwellers in the entire creation of Allah, obedience of Amirul Mu'mineen is wajib on all of them. And then we remind him that Anna al-Hasan wal-Husayn, Ali ibn al-Husayn, Muhammad ibn Ali, Ja'far ibn Muhammad, Musa ibn Ja'far, Ali ibn Musa, Muhammad ibn Ali, وَعَلِيِّ ibn Muhammad wal-Hasan ibn Ali, and all of the 12 Imams. I mentioned each one of them, they are my Imams, and they are the Imams Allah has appointed for all of the Mu'mineen. And they are the evidence, the argument of the Almighty on His creation. So creation, not only dunya, not only Mu'mineen, on the entire creation, they are the Hujjah, they are the argument of Allah. وَأَئِمَّتُكَ. To the deceased, we say they are your Imams and the Imams of guidance, and are the 12 Imams. Ya, you name the marhum, and then you say, إِذَا أَتَاكَ الْمَلَكَانِ الْمُقَرَّبَانِ. The two angels, who are they? The special envoys of the Almighty. When they come to you and when they ask you, an Rabbik, of your Lord, of your Prophet, they inquire you about your religion, the books that you had faith in, the Qibla, and your Imams, fala takhaf. Do not fear. Quickly tell them, what is the answer? Says, la tahzan. Do not be afraid, do not worry. Say, qul fi jawabihima. In response to them, say, Allahu Rabbi, Allah is my Lord. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi nabiyyi. Sallallahu Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Is my prophet. Wal Islamu dini. Islam is my religion. Quran is my book. Kaaba is my qibla. And Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib is my Imam. Hassan ibn Ali is my Imam. And then all of the Imams are mentioned. Ali ibn Ali, Zain al-Abidin, Muhammad al-Baqir, Ja'far al-Sadiq. If you see the format where the names of the Imams has been written, the name in red, that is the name of Abu Abdullah, is different. It is not with the same format. This is Wal Husayn ibn Ali. Who is he? Ash-Shaheed bi Karbala Imami. Hussein, who is the martyr, killed in Karbala, is my Imam. Even that marhum, who is on his journey to the Akhirah, he also has to admit and he also has to enter his barzakh officially with a tear in his hand, admitting that Abu Abdullah was killed, shaheed, oppressed by the Mala'in. So there you mentioned the names of all of the A'imma alayhimus salam. And next page, you say, Ha'ula'i salawatullahi alayhim ajma'een. All of them are my Imams, they are my leaders, they are my guides, they are the Shufa'a. Shafi is the intercessor. They are my Shafi. Bihim atawallah. I seek them. وَمِنْ أَعْدَائِهِمْ أَتَبَرَّأُ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ. And I seek disgust and disassociation from all of their enemies. So enemies of the Ahlul Bayt are my enemies. Whosoever stood against the Imams is someone who I have faith in, and I also stand against him. Thumma alam. And then we say, listen, you name the marhum, then you tell him, that is this optimism and the umeed that you have, hope that you have in the belief system, and you say that to that marhum, remind him, Inna Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala ni'mar Rabb. Allah, He is the best of Lords. Wa anna Muhammadan sallallahu alayhi wa alihi sallallahu Muhammad wa ali Muhammad ni'mar Rasul. He is the best of prophets. And that Amirul Mu'mineen and his 12 and 11 sons, they are the best of Imams. And then ni'mal a'imma. Wa anna ma ja'a bihi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. And that what Rasulullah he brought forth, it is all haqq, it is all right. Wa anna al-mawta haqq, and that death is haqq. Wa su'ala munkarin wa nakirin fil qabr haqq, the questioning in the grave is haqq. Wal ba'tha haqq, and the resurrection when we will be raised from our graves, that is also definitely certain to happen. Wan nushura haqq was sirata haqq. And that sirat, it's that bridge on which we all have to pass, that is also haqq. And watatayur al-kutubi haqq, and the disclosure of my action report, that is also haqq. Anna al-jannata haqq wa anna an-nara haqq, fire is haqq, and that the heaven is haqq. Wa anna as-sa'ata atiyatun la rayba fiha. And the hour, that is the hour of the day of judgment, it is definite and certain to come. Afahimt, did you understand? And then you say, you name the marhum, and then say, Thabbataka Allah bil qawl al-thabit wa hadaka Allah ila siratim mustaqim. May Allah keep you firm on this word. Which word? This aqidah that we just recited. That is the word, that is my faith that I have. And then I say, Hadakallah ila siratim mustaqim. Allah guide you on the right path. And arrafa Allah baynana wa baynak wa bayna awliyaik fi mustaqarrin min rahmatik. And Allah, He acquaints you with your custodians. Who are they? The A'imma alayhimus salam. And then we have a dua that Allah expand and make this grave for him wide from the two sides. And all this is a haqiqat, a fact. And then Rasulullah also, he says, Al-Qabr, this grave that we will be in, Imma hufratun min hufarin niran or ridwanun, it is either a pit of the fire of the hell, or it's going to be a garden of Eden. This is the hadith of Rasulullah. So that we make it with our own aqidah, with our own action. Du'as that we have is the end results of whatever we do in this dunya be good. وَجْعَلْ أَوَاقِبَ أُمُورِنَا خَيْرًا. That Allah make it khair. And the sweetest moment of our life will be our death and departing from this dunya. Looking into Quran and the ayat of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, we have and we believe that Allah has made these angels, and the angels are there providing services to everyone. Now, even in Quran, on many occasions says that تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Angels, they descend upon you. Allah takhafu. Don't be afraid. وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. Do not worry. وَأَنْتُمُ الْعَالَوْنَ. And you are the exalted, you are the high. So angels, they descend. There's a book called Arshiyan Farsh Nishin. It's in Farsi. There's an English translation of that as well. It's a beautiful book written by Ayatollah Sheikh Hussain Ansariyan. In that book, towards the end of it, the special favors that mu'mineen benefit from the Ahlul Bayt have been mentioned. One of the maraja of our time is Marhum Ayatollah Khansari. The last week of his life, when he was ill, now people were coming to see him. So his wife, his son, they used to open the door for mu'mineen who were visiting him to see him. They say that we saw he is busy talking to someone, but the wife says, I never opened the door. ask the son. He says, I also did not open the door. But they know there's someone there and he's talking to someone. They said, let them go, we'll go and ask who he was. And then they go to Ayatollah Khunsari and say that you were with someone. He says, yes. Says, who opened the door? Says, the one who came here, no one needs to open the door for him. Says, who was he? Says, Malakul Maut. Says, Malakul Maut, when he came here, I asked him, have you come to take me? He said, no. I'll come to take you a week from now. I just came here just to see how are you for your well-being. So angels, they descend on everyone. Even when you see children, babies, all of a sudden in their sleep, they start laughing. They are happy. Hadith says that angels are playing with them. When children, when they start walking, there's always a danger. They may hurt themselves. They fall, they drop, but slowly they land, not hurting themselves. Over there also it's the angels who are supporting them. That is that height of mercy and compassion of Allah towards His creation. He never forgets anyone, no matter what situation it be. Now here, Ayatollah Khunsari, he says that a week from that day when Malakul Maut came to see me, he was occupied in the zikr. He recited La ilaha illallah 6,000 times and then he departed from this dunya. There's another book called Rayahinu Sharia. All the women who have performed these miraculous tasks have been mentioned. One of them is Sayyida Nafisa, buried in Cairo in Egypt. She is the daughter-in-law of Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam and the granddaughter of Imam Mujtaba alayhi salam. A very noble lady. So when she was in Cairo, by the presence of her, many, they embraced Tashayyu and become Shias. Many of the Jews also, they converted when they see these miracles from this pious lady. One day she was performing wuzu, a crippled, a paralyzed Jew girl, she comes. And then they say that pray for her well-being. She was performing wuzu and she just splashes some of the wuzu water on that girl and she gets cured. The entire tribe of Jews, they embrace and they become Shias. Now this lady, when she used to fast every day and recite Quran. She had a grave dug in her house for herself. There in the grave she used to recite Quran. On the last day of her life, she is fasting. Everyone, they said, your health is deteriorating, don't fast. At least you can be without fasting. She says, I want to meet my Lord whilst in this status of Saum and fasting, reciting Quran, fasting, and the last ayah that she recited is Lahum Darus Salam Inda Rabbihim, and she passed away. That is, for them is the Darus Salam Inda Rabbihim, by their Lord, in the highest status in the heaven. So mu'mineen, what you want is what you get. If my desire and my want is to be with the Ahlul Bayt, Allah will make that happen and it will be like that. So the end is important and we have to work for our end. One of the things that helps a lot is we believe that Allah is Ameen. He can be trusted. Rasulullah is Ameen. You can trust Rasulullah. Jibreel is Ameen. To him also an assignment is given that he carries and brings the word of Allah, delivers it to Rasulullah without tampering, without any change. وَمَطَاعٍ ثَمَّ أَمِينَ, Quran says. Now, when you give something to someone who is Ameen, he will give it back to you when you want it. Allah is Ameen. Now, this moment, if you can observe silence, یه خورده سکوت را اینجا رعایت کنید که ما میخوایم این عقاید خودمون را یه خورده مرور بکنیم. اینو به عنوان امانت میخوایم به خدا بسپاریم. اون موقعی که وقت ما خواهد رسید و نمیدونیم کسی هست کنار تختمون به ما تذکر بدهد که خدا هست، آخرتی هست یا نه، معلوم نیست. خصوصا در این زندگی که ما الان داریم. بهترین راهش اینه که ما این عقیده رو یه بار مرور بکنیم، سیف دپازیتش بکنیم نزد خدا و اون موقعی که وقت نزع من خواهد رسید، خدای متعال اینا به من برمیگردونه. چون ابلیس دو جا حمله میکنه شدید. یکی وقتی که ما میستیم برای نماز، یکی هم موقع مردن، جان دادن. اونجا میاد با همه قواش، با همه فورسش، با همه اعضاش که بیاد هر طور بشه اینا دیگه بیدین از دنیا ببریمش. این دیگه چون قسم خورده که لأغوینهم اجمعین الا عبادک منهم المخلصین، مگر اینه اونایی که مخلص بودن اونها دیگه شیطان نصیبی در اونها نداره. پس I'm going to just revise our belief system very quickly and we'll surrender it, submit it to Allah, and when our time comes, Allah will return it to us. خب. There is a dua, it's called Dua Adila. Dua Adila, it is a reminder of faith. In that Dua Adila, we say that because Iblis, he attacks and he attacks at the time of death, and then sometimes he is successful and many a times he is not. Now, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You can keep repeating these verses as I repeat and keep them submitting to the Almighty Allah that this is my aqidah. Shahidallahu annahu la ilaha illa huwa. Allah bears this testimony and witness that He is one. Wal malaikatu wa ulul ilm. Angels also admit. And all the ulul ilm, the possessors of knowledge, they say that Allah qa'iman bil qist. La ilaha illa huwa al-azizul hakim. He is the only one and He is that mighty and He is the wise. Inna ad-deena indallahi al-Islam. The religion that Allah has chosen is Islam. دینی که خدای متعال انتخاب کرده برای ما اسلام هستش. و انا العبد الضعیف المذنب. من اون بنده ضعیف و گناهکارم. I am that wrongdoer, the sinner, al-muhtaj, the needy, al-haqir. Ashhadu limun'imi wa khaliqi. I bear witness to my benefactor, wa khaliqi, my creator, wa raziqi, my provider, wa mukrimi kama shahida lidhatih, as he has borne this testimony for himself. What is that? وَشَهِدَتْ لَهُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. And all the angels, they have admitted and acknowledged this testimony. وَأُولُو الْعِلْمِ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ. And the possessors of the knowledge from among the servants of Allah, they have all accepted. What is that? بِأَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُ. He is one. ذُو النِّعَمِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ. He is the one who provides all the blessings to you and does good. وَالْكَرَمِ وَالْإِمْتِنَانِ. قَادِرٌ أَزَلِي. My aqidah is, I believe in the one God who is Qadir, who is mighty, who can do whatever He wants. Azali means that from ever He was Qadir. He was mighty from ever and He is mighty forever. And then Alimun abadi. The knowledge that I have, it is short-lived, it was given to me, it will be taken away from me. But my Creator, the Almighty Allah, who is Alim, He is someone who possesses the knowledge from ever and forever. Hayyun ahadi. He is that living who was living all the time, and He is that only one who is living. Mawjudun sarmadi. Sarmadi means someone in the from ever and forever. He was alim from ever, forever. He is living from ever, forever. He is qadir. Sami'un, basirun, muridun, karihun, mudrikun samadi. He hears, He sees, and then He is totally aware and He knows what exactly is happening with me. What I say, He knows. What I see, He knows. What I see from the corner of my eyes, He knows. All of that is in His knowledge. يَسْتَحِقُّ هَذِهِ الصِّفَاتِ. He deserves all of these attributes and qualities. This is my aqidah. وَهُوَ عَلَى مَا هُوَ عَلَيْهِ فِي عِزِّ صِفَاتِهِ. And He is above all of this and needless of His attributes. And then we say, كَانَ قَوِيًّا قَبْلَ وُجُودِ الْقُدْرَةِ وَالْقُوَّةِ. Allah, He was mighty way before this might was brought into existence. He was mighty. Quwwa and Qudra was created by Him, that what we have, but before that He was already Qadir. وَكَانَ عَلِيمًا قَبْلَ إِيجَادِ الْعِلْمِ وَالْعِلَّةِ. The laws of causality that we have in this world, before that was created also, He was Alim. He knew everything. That is my Aqidah. لَمْ يَزَلْ سُلْطَانًا إِذْ لَا مَمْلَكَةَ وَلَا مَالٍ. He has been the sovereign. He has been the king. Before all this sovereignty was brought into existence, He was always mighty. He was always the ruler. He was always the king. وَلَمْ يَزَلْ سُبْحَانًا عَلَى جَمِيعِ الْأَحْوَالِ. And this glory belonged to Him in all the phases of creation. He was always Subhan, and He will always remain Subhan and glorified. وُجُودُهُ قَبْلَ الْقَبْلِ فِي أَزَلِ الْآزَالِ. He always existed. It isn't as such that He came into existence at a point. No, my Aqidah is, I say, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ السَّمَدُ. That Samad means from ever He was one, forever He will be one. From ever He existed, forever He will exist. From ever He knew, forever He will know. From ever He was mighty, forever He was mighty. He will be mighty, and He was unique. He was one and only in all of these attributes and qualities that were just mentioned. And then we say, and then وَبَقَاؤُهُ بَعْدَ الْبَعْدِ مِنْ غَيْرِ انْتِقَالٍ وَلَا زَوَالٍ. And Allah, He will remain. I will cease from existence. Whatever is created by Allah will come to an end. وَكُلُّ مَنْ عَلَيْهَا فَانٍ. Whatever is on the surface of this earth and in the creation will perish, will cease from existence. That what will remain forever, وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. Allah, He will remain. This is my Aqidah, and I am depositing that before the Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Mustaghnin fil batini wa zahir. Allah, the Almighty, who I have faith in, is needless in substance and in presence. La jawra fi qadiyyatih. There is no oppression. There is no injustice in His judgment. Whatever He does is wise. That is my Aqidah. وَلَا مَيْلَ فِي مَشِيَّتِهِ. And there is no unfairness in His management. That is my Aqidah. وَلَا ظُلْمَ فِي تَقْدِيرِهِ. There is no zulm in the management on the decree of the Almighty Allah. We believe that Allah does not do any zulm on anyone. There is an ayah in Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيْسَ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. Now the other schools of thought, they say and they translate it as such that Allah, He doesn't do a lot of zulm, little bit here and there He does. We, the followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, our Aqidah is, and the translation of this ayah is, Allah does not do any zulm at all. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيْسَ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. No zulm whatsoever is done by the Almighty Allah. وَلَا مَهْرَبَ مِنْ حُكُومَتِهِ. Nor can anyone escape and run away from His rule. In this dunya, we can run away at night and do something bad. But in the akhirah, the rule is the rule of the Almighty Allah. La mafarra. There is no way to flee, to run away from the Almighty Allah, because the rule is the rule of Allah, especially on the day of judgment. That is my Aqidah. And then, sabaqat rahmatuhu ghadabah. Way before His ghadab and His wrath, Allah has been merciful. This is my Aqidah. This is my belief. وَلَا يَفُوتُهُ أَحَدٌ إِذَا تَلَبَهُ. And no one who wants the Almighty Allah, he can flee away from Him. أَزَاحَ الْعِلَلَ فِي التَّكْلِيفِ. Now all of these duties that we have, that we perform day in, day out, there is a wisdom, there is a hikmat that is present in it. وَسَوَّ التَّوْفِيقِ بَيْنَ الضَّعِيفِ وَالشَّرِيفِ. And Allah has distributed this fairly between the weak and the strong. مَكَّنَ أَدَاءَ الْمَأْمُورِ. He has made it easy. For those who can fast, they fast. For those who cannot, they don't fast. For someone who cannot stand and say his prayers, he sits down. Who cannot sit, lies down. He has made it easy for everyone. لم يكلف الطاعة إلا دون الوسع والطاقة. This is my aqidah, that He has not made obedience difficult on anyone but according to my ability. سبحانه ما أبين كرمه وأعلى شأنه. سبحانه ما أجل نيله وأعظم إحسانه. So all these are the beauties of the Almighty Allah. So far, it was the belief system, belief in the oneness of God and belief in the justice of God, I admitted, because we believe in the 5 fundamentals: Tawheed, Adl, Nabuwwa, Imama and Qiyamah. Tawheed and Adl were mentioned over here, and I am surrendering and depositing this aqidah of Tawheed and Adl before the Almighty, and when it will be time, Allah give it back to me. بعث الأنبياء ليبين عدله. Allah has seconded and has sent the prophets to explain what justice is. وَنَسَبَ الْأَوْسِيَاء لِيُظْهِرَهُ طَوْلَهُ وَفَضْلَهُ. And Allah, He has appointed the awsiya, the imams, the successors, so that the favors of the Almighty and His karam, it is all mentioned. وَجَعَلَنَا مِنْ أُمَّتِي سَيِّدِ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. And the best of favors that Allah has blessed us with is that He has made us among the adherents of the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. وَأَعْلَى الْأَزْكِيَاءِ. And who is He? Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So I accepted Rasulullah. I say in this dua, Amanna bih, that I have accepted the word of Rasulullah. I have accepted Rasulullah as my prophet, da'ana ilayh, and all what he has invited me to. وَبِالْقُرْآنِ الَّذِي أَنزَلَهُ عَلَيْهِ. The Quran that he brought forth, I believe in that Quran. Now, Islam that does not have Amir al-Mu'mineen in it, it's incomplete. I accept Islam Rasulullah has brought forth with the Quran revealed on him. وَبِوَسِيِّهِ الَّذِي نَصَبَهُ يَوْمَ الْغَدِيرِ. Not any wasi. Wasi appointed on the day of Ghadir. Not in any other place, any other meeting. Ghadir. That is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Not only appointment, on the day of Ghadir, Rasulullah points out clearly that everyone sees it is Ali. This Ali who is next to me, whose hand I am holding and pointing at him. وَأَشَارَ إِلَيْهِ بِقَوْلِهِ هَذَا عَلِيٌّ وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ الْأَئِمَّةَ الْأَبْرَارِ. After Amir al-Mu'mineen, I bear witness that the Imams, all of them noble, وَخُلَفَاءِ الْأَخْيَارِ, the chosen successors, بَعْدَ الرَّسُولِ الْمُخْتَارِ, and after the Prophet, who are they? عَلِيٌّ قَامِعُ الْكُفَّارِ. First Amir al-Mu'mineen. After him it is his sons, Hassan ibn Ali, his brother Hussein ibn Ali, and then his grandson Abid, Imam Sajjad, and then Baqir alayhi salam, and all of the Imams one after the other. ثم الكاظم موسى ثم الرضا علي ثم التقي محمد ثم النقي Ali ثم الزكي العسكري. And then when it mentions the names of the 11 Imams, the name of the 12th Imam al-Asr alayhi salatu wassalam is also mentioned. These are my Imams. They are those who I have hope in. They are the ones who I have yaqeen in, and this is my aqidah, and I am submitting, depositing it before the Almighty Allah. And then we believe and say that who is this 12th Imam? الذي ببقائه بقية الدنيا. This dunya that has remained, it is by the remnant, and that is the Imam of our time. All of what we see is safe because of the presence of the Imam. That is my aqidah. Baqiyatullah khayrun lakum. Quran says He is the best for you, He is good for you. وَبِيُمْنِهِ رُزِقَ الْوَرَى. And it is via the Imam, through the Imam, who is the distribution center, rizq of everyone is provided. Whatever you get, it comes to you via the Imam. Why? Because he is the whole soul authority, and he is the distribution center, the center point from wherein the rizq is written. And then if someone is ill, his shafa comes from the Imam. The food that you eat and drink comes via the Imam. That what you learn, that what I learn comes via the Imam. This network that Imam has, it's such a beautiful and a complex network that he never forgets, omits, or removes anyone from that network. It is always there. And the ayah in Surah Yasin also says the same. That is the Imam who is holding and the center point of everything. الذي ببقائه بقية الدنيا وبيمنه رزق الورى وبوجوده ثبتت الأرض والسماء. And the sky that you see, it doesn't fall down. This earth that you see, it doesn't shatter and perish. It is because of the presence of the Imam alayhi salam. وَبِهِ يَمْلَأُ اللَّهُ الْأَرْضِ قِسْطًا وَعَدْلًا. This dunya that we are living in, with all this zulm and oppression that is done openly, and we see everything happen. And it is the Imam alayhi salam, when he returns, he will fill this land with justice, with fairness, with equity. And that is what we say whenever the name of the Imam is mentioned, and that is my aqidah, and I'm depositing that with the Almighty Allah. And then say, وَبِهِ يَمْلَأُ اللَّهُ الْأَرْضِ قِسْطًا وَعَدْلًا بَعْدَمَا مُلِئَتْ ظُلْمًا وَجَوْرًا وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ أَقْوَالَهُمْ حُجَّةٌ. And I admit and I bear witness that whatever statements and reports of the Imams are, they are haqq, they are hujjah, they are an argument and a witness for me. وَامْتِثَالُهُمْ فَرِيضَةٌ. I believe that obedience to the Imam is wajib, mandatory upon everyone. وَطَاعَتُهُمْ مَفْرُوضَةٌ وَمَوَدَّتُهُمْ لَازِمَةٌ مَقْضِيَّةٌ. Loving the Imams, loving the Ahlul Bayt, it is also wajib. We have to love them. We have to teach our children to love the A'imma alayhimus salam. That mahabbat between the Imam and the child, we have to work on it. If the baby falls, teach him to say, Ya Ali. If the baby falls, teach him to say, Ya Sahib al-Zaman. That mahabbat has to be taught to the children. وَامْتِثَالُهُمْ فَرِيضَةٌ وَمَوَدَّتُهُمْ لَازِمَةٌ مَقْضِيَّةٌ وَالْإِقْتِدَى بِهِمْ مُنْجِيَّةٌ. If you follow the Imam, you will be safe. That is my aqidah. وَمُخَالَفَتَهُمْ مُرْدِيَّةٌ. And if someone stands against the Imam, opposes the A'imma alayhimus salam, he will be ruined. That is my aqidah. Who are they? Hum sadatu ahlil jannati ajma'een. They are the chiefs of all the dwellers and the inhabitants of the heaven. وَالشُّفَعَاءُ يَوْمِ الدِّينِ. They are the shafi', the mediators of the day of reward, day of judgment. وَأَئِمَّةُ أَهْلِ الْأَرْضِ عَلَى الْيَقِينِ. And they are the imams of the dwellers of the earth, certainly and definitely. وَأَفْضَلُ الْأَوْسِيَاءِ الْمَرْضِيِّينَ. They are the best of the successors of the chosen. وَأَشْهَدُ. Now this was the concept of imamat. So I believe in the oneness of Allah, His justice, in prophethood, in imamat. Now these four have been surrendered to the Almighty for safekeeping. Now the final, and that is Qiyamah. Qiyamah starts from death and dying. وَأَشْهَدُ أَنَّ الْمَوْتَ حَقٌّ. Death is certain. وَمُسَاءَلَةَ مُنْكَرٍ وَنَكِيرٍ فِي الْقَبْرِ حَقٌّ. Questioning in the grave by Munkar and Nakir is definite. وَالْبَعْثَ حَقٌّ. And the raising of the death is haq. وَالنُّشُورَ حَقٌّ. And when those who have been killed will be resurrected, that is also certain. وَالصِّرَاطَ حَقٌّ. Sirat is that bridge that will be on the day of judgment, finer than hair, sharper than a sword. And a hadith, they say that everyone has to pass on that bridge. Now here, something that is so sharp and so delicate, how can someone pass? And do you need a bridge like that? Quran says, وَإِنَّ جَهَنَّمَ لَمُحِيطَةٌ. Means that Jahannam is surrounded all around this sirat, on that bridge. And we have to go. Someone comes to Rasulullah and says that, will you also have to pass from that sirat? Rasulullah recites the ayah from Surah Al-Maryam, says, إِن مِّنْهُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَىٰ رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا. Says everyone has to pass on that sirat. Rasulullah, he will pass like a flash and he will get to his destination. Everyone has to pass. Some will walk, some will run, some will crawl, some will fall from that sirat. Now, in the presence of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, someone asked Rasulullah, what is this sirat that we have in Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim? Rasulullah says, Aliyun huwa Sirat al-Mustaqim. Ali is that Sirat al-Mustaqim. It means that as long as you are with Ali alayhi salatu wassalam and his sons, the Imams, you are on the Sirat and you will be safe on the Sirat in the hereafter. So if we want to be safe on the Sirat in Akhirah, we have to be on the Sirat in this dunya, and that is the path of Ali and Awlad Ali alayhim alafut tahiyyati was sana. Salawat. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. وَالْبَعْثَ حَقٌّ وَالنُّشُورَ حَقٌّ وَالصِّرَاطَ حَقٌّ وَالْمِيزَانَ حَقٌّ. Mizan is the scale of balance, that is also haq. Rasulullah was by the scale of balance. And then the instructions given to the gatekeeper of the heaven and the hell is that when the a'mal will be placed on the balance, if they are heavy, heaven should be given. If they are light, the hell. Someone is brought to the presence of Rasulullah there. He places his a'mal. They were light, and then the hell was assigned. When he was entering the hell, Rasulullah is by the mizan. He takes an envelope out of his pocket, places it on that mizan. It's heavy now. So Malik, he says, now it's heavy. So he entered the heaven. And he says, Ya Rasulullah, what was that envelope that you placed on that mizan that made his actions heavy, resulting in the heaven? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. These salawat that you recite on Rasulullah and his progeny, they are deposited in a special account, and that account is with Rasulullah. And the day when we will be in need, he will cash them, present them, place them on that mizan, and we will enter the heaven. So salawat ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad has that beautiful effect. Al-kitab haq. Kitab haq means the actions that we do. They are all written in that book. That is also haq. Wal jannata haq. Heaven is haq. Wan nara haq. Fire is haq. Wa anna as-sa'ata atiyatun la rayba fiha. Wa anna Allah yab'asu man fil qubur. And Allah will raise everyone who is in the graves. Everyone. Now our aqidah is, when it will be the day of judgment, Israfil is the angel who will blow the horn, and everyone living on this, in this creation will die. So, if the day of judgment is on a certain date, and there are 20 billion people living in other creation, all of them will die. That is that first horn that will be blown. The second horn, when it will be blown, everyone from the first person or thing that Allah had created, all of that will be brought back to life. So these 20 billion here, plus however many before them, will all be brought back to life, and that is going to be the resurrection and the day of judgment. Now, this is my aqidah, and I am submitting that also to the Almighty Allah for safekeeping. Allahumma fadluka raja'i. That what I want from you, O Lord, is your grace, is your fadl. That what I do is nothing. In du'as also that we recite, we say that Allah, Ya man yu'til kathira bil qaleel. O He who gives a lot for the little I do. So that what I want from you is grace. Actions that I do, they are nothing. They don't carry that much weight, nor are they as such for which you can give me the heaven. It is the grace of the Almighty that helps. Fadluka raja'i wa karamuka rahmatuka amali. That what I have hope is in your mercy, in your karam. La amala li astahiqqu bihil jannah wa la ta'ata li astawjibu bihar ridwan. No actions do I have to get into the heaven, nor the pleasure of yours can be sought as such. With this obedience I do, illa anni a'taqadtu tawheedaka wa adlak. That what I have is this faith of mine that you are one, is that you are just. That is my aqidah. And the hope that I have in Rasulullah, the shafaat I want, mediation I want from the Imams, alayhimus salam. وأنت أكرم الأكرمين وأرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله أجمعين الطيبين الطاهرين وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. صلى على محمد وآل محمد. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Now this was the aqidah that I just recited. Allahumma ya arhamar rahimin. This one sentence in red, if you repeat and say Allahumma ya arhamar rahimin inni awda'tuka yaqini hadha wa thabata dini wa anta khayru mustawda' وَقَدْ أَمَرْتَنَا بِحِفْظِ الْوَدَائِعِ. You have instructed to be ameen and to return the trust when they are requested. فَرُدَّهُ عَلَيَّ. This aqidah that I deposited before you, O Lord, return it back to me when I will be in need. وَقْتَ حُذُورِ مَوْتِي. When death comes to me. وَعِنْدَ مُسَاءَلَةِ مُنْكَرٍ وَنَكِيرٍ. When Munkir and Nakir will be questioning, just send this file to them and they know what my aqidah is. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. And then we say, اللهم إني أعوذ بك من العديلة عند الموت. Allah, keep me safe from switching from haqq to batil, from faithfulness to faithlessness at the time of death. This is the aqidah. With 3 loud salawats, we will submit it and upload it to the Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. Ilahi, between us, Quran and Ahlul Bayt never ever come across a moment of separation. May that be here in this dunya, barzakh or qiyamah. Allah, the sweetest moment of our life be the moment when we will be leaving from this dunya. Allahumma ja'al awaqiba umurina khaira. Ilahi, the end results of whatever we do here be good. And khair is khairul amal, Amirul Mu'mineen. Khair is Imam al-Asr, Baqiyatullah, khairun lakum. This bond that we have with them never ever be taken away from us wherever we be in this creation of the Almighty Allah. And in the vicinity of the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, we all be granted a station, a rank, a place with them, insha'Allah. رب ابن لي عندك بيتا في الجنة وسبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakallah. It was, mashallah, a very beautiful lecture.